Hello and welcome to my Wise implementation demo reel in Unreal Engine 5 for the stunning game Mahi Light of Bohr in partnership with ArtFX. Mahi is a semi-open world at the third person where you embody the character of Mahi and must save the kingdom by exploring and resolving constellation puzzles. Let's first dive into the ambiences. They are divided into three distinct types of assets: paths for the stereo bed, pose for 3D sounds, and RFXs. The game includes 6 zones, so I use the switch to make the ambience change when the player triggers boxes on the map. The stereo pads have a LFO modulating their voice volumes to create some variation. Ambience RFXs are managed through the listener with automation setting in Wise to make them play with the pan automation around the listener. Thanks to runtime grids and data layer system, the player's position in the world can load and unload ambient sounds like audio splines or 3D position sounds, allowing us to save Wise voices and game performances. As the player completes constellations, the ambience evolves thanks to an RTPC driving blend tracks and triggering various layers, but also the trigger rate of random containers or the volume and the pitch of some ambient sounds. All of this is done to translate the progressive rescue of the kingdom. The reverbs of the game are handled by the Wise spatial audio setup. All of the acre rooms have their own room tone, reverb effect and auxiliary sound, and they are all linked by acre portals to make a smooth transition between them. All of the sounds that are played in an acre room are sent to the reverb bus with the game-defined auxiliary setting in Wise. The foliage sounds are triggered by a sphere around the player. In a blueprint, we are getting the impact point of the collision to play our slightly spatialer sound to make it feel natural. This system is also modulating by an RTPC linked to the player speed to make the volume of foliage sounds vary. The faster you cross a foliage, the louder the sound will be. As long as the player hasn't resolved the constellation of a zone, corrupted areas prevent him from going through some ways or shortcuts. The sound of corrupted areas is managed by a multi-position blueprint, getting the blueprints of the corrupted area and the position of all of them with a tag, for instance village, ranch or sawmill. This gameplay element is also modulating the music thanks to an RTPC with the distance built-in parameter. When the player approaches a corrupted area, the RTPC is driving an FX chain on the music bus with a stereo delay, an harmonizer and a reverb to create a dissonant and an uncomfortable feeling, since corrupted areas represent the sickness of the kingdom that the player has to heal. When the player discovers something or solves a puzzle, a melodic feedback is played, pausing the music and resuming it once it's over. The player can also press LT to use the compass, guiding him to the constellations that he must solve. I created a state to filter the music and the ambience, and to add a flanger to simulate a focus effect and emphasize the wide stereo aspect of the sounds. Thanks for watching.